Hello and welcome. I'm going to be reviewing Birds in the Window, my game against Elena, rated 1200. Alright, so I'm playing with the black pieces. Elena is playing with the white pieces. Elena starts with Queen's Pawn opening, d4. So, I've been trying to get into the Alekhein's defense lately. Although I think going forward I want to play the Dutch instead, or maybe I want to switch between the Alekhein's defense, which I'm sorry, this isn't the Alekhein's defense at all. I'm lying. This is the Indian game, which I played a lot before. Knight f6 is the start of the Indian game. It has nothing to do with the Alekhein's defense. The Alekhein's defense would be if Elena had played e4 instead of d4. And anyway, but because this isn't that opening, we don't have to concern ourselves with that at all. So there's a different theory on what to do. So continued with c4, expanding on the queen side, carving out a square for this knight. So I continue with getting the bishop to this long diagonal. This is part of the King's Indian setup. So knight comes out, standard. Bishop comes out, pretty standard. And within a couple of moves, my king is ready to castle to safety, and then I can continue with an attack, depending on what the opponent does. Goes for 3 pawns in the center. So when Elena moved the knight here, it supports the e4 push. So now it might seem really intimidating. It's just like, well, why would you allow this? You know, takes. Well, I guess then I take the queen, and somehow that's like more favorable for me because I'm curious, but we'll have to review it after the game, I think. Playing the King's Indian can be really stressful, and that's why a lot of high players are just like, maybe you shouldn't play the King's Indian. Maybe you should try to play something like the Queen's Gambit Declined, or something like the Slav defense, or something like that. But you know, I really tried to test my opponents, and I try to make them prove it, right? And that's one of the things that makes chess fun. So I moved pawn to d6. I was concerned, but I guess the idea is tactically. There we go. Tactically takes back, queen takes. If this move wasn't played, then I would get the knight here, and I would have 2 pounds of pressure. Nobody says that, but that's how I think of it. 2 pounds of pressure on this pawn. Maybe here, but whatever. We didn't get that in the game. Opponent does a3. I castle to safety. I was considering this for a moment, but it just doesn't work. This doesn't work. Wait, I think I missed something. And one of the earlier games, I'm supposed to throw out immediately, and if pawn takes, then the queen's supposed to go over here. And it has, nothing to do with, trying to recapture that pawn. I'm really sorry about that. That happens way often than it should. It's really obnoxious. And then it just randomly goes away. I'm just either somebody's always freaking out or having an anxiety attack, or they're always missing their car. Now, or they have a child that likes to chew on keys or something. Or someone just always forgets where they put their car. I mean, I do that, but that's besides the point. Not forget my car. If I go to a shopping center or something, and then I forget where I parked my car, I will occasionally use the panic button to help me figure out where it is faster. Anyway, so we see e5 on the board. It's attacking my knight. It's encouraging me to take. So I takes back, I think this is considered a great move. A great move because it's a favorable exchange of queens for me. Because takes and I get the rook to the open file. So king moves back. Possibly not the greatest. Well, I mean, I didn't have any other squares to move to, now did I? I had this one, but it just blocks it. So between these two moves, I felt like this one was better. I had this move, and then he had this move, and then I would hang a knight. So that was probably not the move either. Here, 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 here. Yeah, so probably this is the only move. When you're playing the King's Indian Defense, you have to be like really comfortable with retreating moves. Most of your pieces don't like extend into your opponent's territory, and that's like the idea. There are, I don't know, if you're Hikaru, and I'm not, Hikaru Nakamori is a really good chess player. If you haven't seen any of his content, I would recommend you looking him up too. He had mentioned something about there was like a kingside attack that you're supposed to do, but I haven't figured out when or where or how to do that yet. So I didn't especially... Okay, so I was concerned about this, but then I realized that my knight was covering, so this move is kind of useless. It doesn't activate any of the other pieces. It moves the same piece multiple times, so I didn't think that was good. Also, it just hangs this free pawn. I didn't want him to like reinforce, and like my bishop would be looking at granite for the rest of the game. I suppose he did have this as a move, but then I would just move back. That hung upon immediately. I didn't want him to like redefend, so now he's got like these pawn islands, which are pawns that are separated. So this guy won't be able to help this guy, and this guy won't be able to help him. This guy's pretty much on his own. He is defended by the bishop right now, but so it counterattacks my bishop. The bishop moves all the way back. There might have been like other moves, but I don't know. I just wanted to move my bishop to safety. So after moving the knight here, it just moves the knight back. So now we have like a lot of wasted moves from Elana. So bring the knight out. This makes it so my bishop can't get over here, I guess. Also gets the bishop ready for development this way. Well, I don't know how to undo this now. I don't know how to undo it to make it not white or faded or whatever. Anyway, so I develop a knight to the center because I mean there wasn't really any. I mean I could put the bishop here, but I mean maybe that was, but that would run into this anyway. So if I had moved the bishop here, this would run into this, and that would help the opponent. Like, and then I would have to move back, and not to mention it would hang this pawn. So there's no homes for the bishop right now. So I developed a knight instead. We see pawn. We see g4. Gregory moves to the 4th square. I wanted to defend this pawn, so this rook was no longer staring at it, and I mean his move was kind of faster. I guess the idea was here, and we could like trade, and then you know I would take his like good bishop, but we didn't get any of that. So I moved my bishop here, trying to own the long diagonal. I don't think that was a good move at all, because it immediately hangs this rook, and I can go for the bishop, and then I can get one of the bishop pairs, so then you can only see the dark squares. So this defends the rook and also gives it room to breathe. I go ahead and take with check. That forces the bishop trade. The rook is still hanging, so it defends the rook. I'm keeping initiative most of this game, as you can probably tell. I was considering, did I have like some sort of move that involved here, but neither of them work. Well, I mean, this is something that I considered. Perhaps I should have just played it, because if takes, well, I mean, then there was the king here, so I wouldn't even get to, that's probably why I didn't do this move. Because if the rook takes, this is hope chess, then the bishop would take, and it would pin the rook to the king. But because he had the defensive resource, for one move, and then I guess I bring the other rook, but he still has like this, and I don't really have much. So I decided to dogpile and also put more pressure here. So if takes and takes, I had like this, which would make... I probably should play that immediately. Now I'm seeing it. Takes. Bait. Excuse me. But I didn't see that in the game. So knight moves, hangs this guy immediately, which probably wasn't even like counterattacks the rook. The rook moves back. I moved it to a light square, so it's never an attackable target for the dark squares. And some whenever you're playing chess, that's like something you want to consider. Like if your opponent has like only one bishop, then try to move all of the pieces to a square that the bishop can't see. So it will never be able to help with the attack or whatever. Sometimes I struggle with this advice because it's just like, oh, they'll have a dark squared bishop and I'll move all my squares to light squares, and it's just like, well, doesn't that give it like more to like control or whatever? But anyway, controlling this diagonal, and this knight is protecting this square. So I think I'm trying to lure this guy away. I think I noticed after the fact that I had missed something, so I was trying to encourage takes. It would deflect the knight, and then I could mate him on the back. But opponent sees that. But even though opponent moves out of the way, it's still an discovered check, and lucky for me, it can't how do you say, double attack my pieces because they're too far away. Because sometimes like you'll go for a double check, and then you'll find that the king has like a defensive resource to attack both pieces at once. But I didn't get that here. Defends the knight, but it was already defended. King moves in it. So now both my rooks are controlling the open file. My rooks are pretty happy. Bishop is happy. This, he's not helping. He has to like go all the way around if he wants to help. So, cutting off the king. Trying to weave a mating net. Alright, so I considered this, but I suppose there was this. So I'm trying to move the pieces from defending the king. Let's see here. Trying to weave a mating net. So you can't go here, you can't go here, you can't go here. You can't go here, so... so now the bishop no longer helps. Okay. So I'm moving the king away. Check. I mean, this might not even be the best way to like win. Alright, so king is cut off, king is cut off, king is cut off. Oops. King's running desperately out of squares. Bishop protects. Probably forces them back to the back rank. Alright, so... I see. So continuing to push the pawn. Is this a threat? No, because I saw this. Alright, so the rook is not hanging. The king is sort of boxed in. Can't go anywhere, and it's made on the next move. It's not made on the next move. Okay. So, this attacks this. So what was the idea here? Oh, I win the rook. Obviously. Alright, so now I'm not too concerned. I'm just trying to... This protects the pawn. This is his only square. Well, I mean, somewhere along here. I mean, he's probably got this. Okay. Also counterattacks here. Alright. Almost there. Squirrely little king. But got there. So let us look at the review. Played at a 1900 strength. She played at 1350, so she played stronger than her rating, as did I. 99% accuracy in the opening. 87.4. 87.3. So a pretty strong game for me. Got to start the review. So, G4. Start of the Indian game, knight f6. C4. This isn't the queen's gambit because there's no gambit. There's no pawn to be gambited. So continuing with building a teacup. I don't know why. I think it was Gotham chess. It was just like you're building a house for the bishop, and for some reason now I'm translating it as I build a teacup. Okay, there's a teacup for the bishop. That works. Whatever works for you. Knight comes out, standard move, book move. Okay. So, takes the full center. Cool as a cucumber. Theory move. Who knew? Takes away... I said theory move, not Siri. So, this move stops this tactical sequence. So, like if they had done this before, it's an inaccuracy, so takes, apparently takes this way, here. Not even. Here. Oh. Okay. So I guess the idea is if I did this, you would still have this? Yeah, okay, so this fails. This, after all my big talk about, this is bad, this is wrong, still going here, so I don't, okay. So, if they ever push too early, no, if we don't do this, it's takes, am I seeing this right? Didn't it just say like a second ago that this was the best move? Or was this the inclusion of like this move? So then castles. It's... I don't understand chess at all, dude. Didn't even... Okay. Anyway. Theory move. Castle, theory move. So opponent did go for it. So I did all of that right. Didn't like this. Really liked this. Okay. So here, What about here? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think so. So, allows this. It's defended by here. I mean, I don't know why I would allow this. Alright. Oh. That's actually kind of strong, because it's attacking 2 pawns at once. I cannot do this, because then I get forked. Oh, that makes more sense, I guess. Not even. I don't know how to play chess, dude. But we didn't get any of that. Castles, he goes, I do this. Didn't like this, really like this, but I didn't understand the purpose of this move. Maybe it wanted... Moves out of the way. This was the best move. This is a blunder. Did I prove why it was a blunder? Probably. Best. I'm the best. Like this move better. Couldn't tell you the difference. Can I see what the difference is here? Nope, I don't get it. But I'm happy with excellent moves. I'm just not happy with good moves. Good moves are not good enough. That was an excellent move. Wanted me to defend like this, which I guess makes more sense. But at a certain point, I wanted to move the knight, and I didn't want, like, 2 pounds of pressure on this one. Not a good move. It says it's a good move, but if it gets a green check mark, it's, in my book, it's a bad move. This is an excellent move, so it's good enough. Green thumbs up. Alright. That doesn't even work. That's not even a good move, dude. I'm disappointed in myself. Apparently, I was supposed to do this. Oh. Okay. He has to take with the king, because otherwise that happens. If you take it with the rook. But we didn't get any of that. I don't understand. Well, he's got to move somewhere. Okay, hated this move. Didn't have to do this. Well, yeah, that was just like not the right. So this is the best. What? It does work? Oh, obviously, I showed you, and I was disappointed that I didn't find this in the game because that would have been me. But I didn't find that in the game. This is why you always need to be looking for tactics on the board. This was too slow. This wasn't even a good move because it defends. I should have... What else does it do? Yeah, no, I could have done this. Could I have done this? Yeah, see. Sometimes don't be looking for material. Be looking for mates. So. Well, after all that talk about, oh, try to, like, make sure, whatever. I guess it's because I still get this. Does that work? Not really. He wanted here. Oh, duh. Obviously. Throw opponent's face. Oh. Well, yeah, miss made again, obviously. Should have done this. King has to... Well, king doesn't feel very safe anymore. Yeah, this would have been so much stronger, because, you know, he's only got so many defenders, but we have to... He doesn't... Yeah, that would have just been pretty strong. But let's say opponent's overwhelmed, doesn't know what to do. Oh. Yeah, no, actually, that does make more sense. So, then I can't... Okay, maybe that's what... What? Oh, he's got this. I mean, that's great and all, but how am I supposed to, like... I mean, I get that he has, like, he's he can't breathe! I can't breathe! If you were playing against a live opponent, they would probably resign here, because it's just like, okay, what else do... Oh, what? Oh, it's my turn. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, well, we didn't get that. What did we get instead? Ticks, bring it back. He noticed that there was a tactic, except he missed it. Takes, thought that forking... What? Well, where's the follow-up here? My knight's under attack. I don't see the follow-up for this. Then why did... Okay. And this is why I'm not a computer. Simplified, doubled up, cut him off. Wasn't even the best move, should have checked him from behind. I guess I was concerned about this. I had this. So I guess I would have been fine. Didn't like this. Wanted me to cut him off even more. Makes sense. Didn't like this either. Couldn't find the win. This is not a good move. This is a miss. Okay, whatever. But at any rate, and then Captain disrespect with the rook. Isn't that a nice finish? Alright, so that's it for this game against Elana. Elana has been felled. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving me a like, please. I'm trying to make the algorithm like me more. And if you want to see more, consider subscribing so you can get more recommendations. I'm doing games against bots, games against live people. And live people are harder than the bots, you know, not entirely sure if they're cheating or not. They're all playing like way stronger than their ratings and know a lot of theory and whatever. And it sends me into a rage tilt. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one.